Welcome back to Vancouver Drywall Garage. Today we have a very common situation, which is where you have a piece of new drywall butting up to an existing textured ceiling. This is a situation that we all come across regularly, and the reason I have not made a video about it on a real job site is because every time I am doing a job, I am being asked to remove a textured ceiling, not repair it and not butt drywall up to it and not do anything to it. So typically what we would do if I was going to be removing the textured ceiling, I would just tape this like regular drywall. I would then proceed to skim it out after, and that would bury the tape. However, it's very common to just say be installing like 1 or 2 new sheets or a new wall in a room with an existing textured ceiling, and you don't want to have to go through the trouble to actually, put a piece of tape. Let me show you guys. So normally what you would do, is you fold the piece of paper tape, it goes up here and gets taped against here, which means you now have to feather the compound out to about here to be able to hide the edge of the paper tape. So what that obviously means is that you're left with the choice to either retexture that area around the whole wall, or you have to skim out the whole ceiling if you want to go for a flat ceiling. The worst case scenario would be unpainted popcorn texture, and we don't have that here. I did my best to do a little mock knockdown texture, and I'm going to show you guys and try and do it in such a way that you could replicate this in the worst case scenario of, say, an unpainted popcorn texture ceiling. So the key here is to not get mud on the ceiling. So slow and steady is going to be the process. So you want to get, about 1/8 of an inch of mud on there. I'm using all-purpose, and we could put, just because we have kind of a gap right here, I'm going to put a little bit extra mud. What we're going to do is a technique called flat taping. And what flat taping will do is it's going to force some of this mud in here, and it's going to give us a nice clean edge. Some people might go, well, why don't you just caulk it? Well, why don't you just caulk it? Paint it, see how it looks, and then you'll see why we don't just caulk it. It won't look right. So I'm really trying hard to not get too much mud up close to the ceiling. Normally I would do like a side swipe technique to get mud on a little faster, but it's not as even, and I just really need to make sure that there's not too much mud here, because what we're really trying to avoid is any mud coming out. So there's 2 things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put enough mud here that we might actually be able to get a little bit of it into that crack, so that there's not just a hollow void, but not so much that it spills out over the top. So this is a time-consuming method, but it is way less time, again, than painting a ceiling or retexturing a ceiling and repainting. So it looks like it could use just a little bit more here. So the idea is I'm just trying to get a thin amount of mud on here, ready for flat taping, and enough mud in here that it will be sturdy when it's taped. So that looks pretty good to me. You want to take your tape, get a nice square end. Now, normally you would want to do this before the corners are coated, but because this is a little pretend wall in the garage, I've just been doing a series of videos, so this is already coated. But ideally, you would want the empty corner bead to put your tape into, and then it would get covered with your consecutive coats of mud. But we don't have that. Anyways, give yourself a nice square corner to get into whatever corner you are taping. And now what we're going to do is we're going to butt this up to the ceiling. So if it's a textured ceiling, like a heavily textured popcorn ceiling, it's going to be harder to get it right up into the corner, but it is still possible. Well, it's not still possible, but get it as close as you can, and the little bit of mud is going to help fill in the gaps that are there. So we'll tear that. So now I'm going to start embedding the tape, and I'm being really careful to not ride my knife on the ceiling. So if I were to, say, bring it up like that and scrape a bunch of the texture off, well, then we'd be doing texture repair. I started in the middle of my tape so that it doesn't wrinkle. And if it needs it, push it up, right? You're trying to keep it as tight to the ceiling as possible. And my goal here isn't to wipe all of the mud out, is to get an even amount of, the technical term would be joint compound. We call it mud, but it's joint compound. So again, I'm being so careful to not actually touch that textured ceiling. And this is looking pretty good. So we know there's a little bit of mud back here, in behind there. It's gonna shrink and pull in just a tiny bit, but that's okay. So we got a couple of options here. At this point, we can just leave it and let it dry, which is a pretty good idea because like I said, that top bit where there's a gap, it's gonna shrink in a little bit. But I actually have some help filming today and I might not on the next coat, so I'm going to coat it today, even though it's not what I would recommend. I'm gonna do it because it just looks a little better. So again, we're going to be very careful to not get too much mud up to the ceiling. So imagine that this tape is already dry. And if you're decently skilled at coating drywall, you can get this tape here, you can get it coated in one coat. It doesn't need two coats. The same way when you are doing new angles, like taping new 90-degree angles in a wall, you only need one coat over top of those corner tapes. It doesn't take two coats. So a flat tape, usually you can get away with just one coat over top. So again, it looks slow and painful doing it this way, but what we're really trying to avoid doing is slopping paint, or slopping mud, slopping joint compound onto the ceiling, because it's not easy to get it off. And we don't, because this is unpainted, we don't want to be running a sanding sponge really hard up against this. It's going to wear it all off and you're going to have a perfect little sanding sponge width groove of missing texture. So now that we got that up, I'm going to very carefully be starting to smooth it out. And I really want to take note of the angle of my knife again. Because it has a square 90-degree edge, if I am going the wrong way, I'm going to scrape it all off. I could use a bit more mud up here. Joint compound. Oh, forgot to feather that edge. Okay, get a little more mud right there because it's not quite building up how I want it. And some of that texture is getting in there a bit. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You can fine tune stuff later, but just try and make sure that it's looking nice and flat and full. Okay. And ideally you shouldn't really be able to see your tape that much, but that's partly because I am coating over top of wet tape. It's not quite coating as well. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And now I'm gonna get a little technical. I'm gonna push this lift off up even higher. So I'm not expecting you noobs to be able to do this. I didn't mean that to sound arrogant. What I mean is like, knowing how to actually push your lift off into the part that you want to cover the most is like, that's like seasoned taper skills. But you can see I'm actually putting the majority of the mud over top of the edge of tape so that when I come to sand it, that's going to shrink the most right there. And now we will have actually achieved that in one coat. So that's a whole other video that I don't think I could actually make, but like lift-off placement, where do you place those? So I put it, again, where it's gonna shrink the most and where it's gonna come out real nice. But let's get a nice close-up here. Okay, so as you can see, because it's over fresh drywall, there's not a lot of porosity. Right up in that corner, tiny little crusties, but those are gonna sand out and fill with paint. We don't have a void, as you can see, like it's all tight up to the ceiling. and it's going to sand quite easily after it dries. So this is for sure going to take a few days to dry. You want to make sure it's fully dry before you sand it and paint it, so that's what I'm going to do. We'll cut to a few days from now. All right, now it's time to sand and paint. And unfortunately I've lost my filmer, but I'm going to do my best to get you guys some good angles so you can see what I'm doing here. So as we can see, it dried and shrunk a little bit, and we can see the line from the tape, but once I sand, it should be fine. First thing we need to do is, with a pole sander, just get up as close as we can without bumping the ceiling to generally flatten everything out and to, as always, feather that edge. So next we're gonna get up here with a sponge sander, and you want one of these angled ones. Like seriously, if you don't have one of these, this is gonna be impossible to not wreck the textured ceiling if it's unpainted. So let's say you only have a square one. You could probably just take a knife and slice it down along that edge and try and make your own angled one. I would definitely recommend not attempting to do this without anything other than an angled sponge, as I just said. So, and yes, I would normally be wearing a mask, but it's kind of hard to in these videos sometimes. But what we're going to be doing is just getting that right up into the corner there like this. And it might even need a tiny bit kind of going like this. You can see how I'm not actually letting most of it touch the ceiling. That's just to take down a little bit of a line that was left there from my putty knife. I'll show you guys what I mean. It's actually almost impossible to see, but it's about 1 to 2 millimeters of mud that's kind of squished up in the corner. So I'm just using a sponge to get up there and to try and soften that without taking much of the texture away. Remember, we're doing this as though I'm not going to paint the ceiling. Ideally, you should have a light so that you can actually see what you're sanding. Make sure that you're getting it nice and flat. I have a nice big light on here. There was enough mud on here that I'm easily able to sand out that line and the lift off. I'm not having any paper show through. And that should be good. Next, I'm going to take a clean, dry paintbrush and just brush the dust out of the corner. And finally, it's time to paint. I'm just priming, and I'm going up as close to that corner as I can reasonably get without actually hitting the ceiling. I mean, which is just cutting in. So normally I would have actually rolled out the wall first before cutting in because it makes it a lot easier, but I didn't feel like having to move the camera and everything, so I'm doing what I don't usually do, which is cut in first. Okay, so I know you guys weren't born yesterday, and I know there's a lot of you that throughout the course of this video have been going, Ben, is this not just going to crack down the road? And the answer is yes, in this condition it will. So what we are going to do as some insurance is to lay a bead of caulking down here, which would ideally stick better if this surface was painted as well, the textured ceiling. But let's get back to the original point of the video, which was to be able to add a small wall into a room without having to repair or paint the textured ceiling. So the best we can do in this case is a nice job flat taping and then a very thin and inconspicuous bead of caulking along here to help it not crack. Because of course, like with one really good hit to the wall with a little bit of building movement, or with like a hit to the ceiling? Of course. There you go. You're gonna have a hairline all the way down the wall. But with this, and you'll wanna make sure that you have the hole cut very small, because you don't wanna be putting a lot on here. You don't wanna wipe a big blob along the ceiling. So we're going to be trying to keep most of this on the wall and just have a little bit on the ceiling. And of course, the coarser the texture, the harder it is. Okay, let's get up close and personal with this. So as you can see, I did a pretty good job not wiping the caulking onto the ceiling. And honestly, it's a clean look. As long as you keep that bead of caulking pretty small, it's gonna look good. We had a little bit of crud in the caulking there because it was like the first pull from the tube that had been sitting around a while. But otherwise, I mean, totally clean and nice looking. Okay, so this is all the stuff I didn't want to have to move. I had to have my tripod set up on top of my two benches just so I could get it up high enough to actually see all that stuff. But now I can move this all and paint the wall. Okay, you guys get the idea. You don't actually need to see me paint this wall because we've done all the critical parts of it for this video. So that is how you add a wall or add drywall to a wall without having to paint or retexture or tape onto the ceiling. It's a very effective method. I would say it's very unlikely to crack if you have a decent bead of caulking there. One quick disclaimer, I only did 4 feet of this. The key to doing this is just to go slow. You notice how long it took me just to do 4 feet. When you're doing a whole room of this, it can feel painfully slow. Just keep in mind as you're doing it, I'm not painting the ceiling. I'm not painting the ceiling. I'm not texturing the ceiling. So that's, again, the obvious benefit to this method. Would I do it every time? No, but I have done it and it does work. So thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you got something out of this video. And as always, I hope your projects are going well, but I hope you're doing even better. Till the next one.